Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and in this video I want to talk to you about how to pick a general contractor for your major renovation. So there's a couple important things here. Number one is size of staff. And I know this might sound a little funny, but a contractor with more staff is safer than a contractor with less staff. If someone has 10 employees, it's harder for them to just, boom, close up shop and run away, or go and start working in Fort Myers because a hurricane hit there, right? And they want to go get some of that hurricane money. It's harder for that to happen for a 10-person company than it is for a 3-person company. So you want to look at size of staff. It's actually a very important metric. It also tells you how much that person can delegate. If it's all on one person's head, he's going to drop some of the balls if he gets busy. But if it's able to be delegated and pushed out, he can hire more people to take on more roles. It's actually an important thing that not a lot of people look at. Is size of the company equals security? It's more important than you might think in a general contractor. Number two is, what is the project management staff's method of doing the project management? If they're not saying, we get picture reports from every subcontractor and we don't pay anyone until we visually see that the work is done correct, unless it is abundantly obvious from the pictures, that's a very, very, very important point. At Home Love Construction, we demand from our subs that they send us pictures at the end of every day. If they don't, we're having a conversation when it comes time to give them the check, and usually the check's not what we agreed on, and it's less because they didn't do what they agreed on and send us pictures every day. It's very, very, very important. It's a point of ethics, frankly, to make sure that they're not leaving your job site a mess. And if they have to send pictures at the end of every day of the whole job site, they know that we're gonna say something and we're gonna backbill them because we're gonna have to send somebody out and clean it up. So if that point is not in, it would be a little bit of a concern for me hiring a general contractor, knowing how that goes. And then I would say number three is, how quickly can they get you pricing? If it's something where they can't really get you pricing rapidly, and they kind of just don't really know what things cost, that's a little bit of an indicator that they haven't done what they're talking to you about doing before. If they have a system, like for example, we literally have a card, like a formula card, that we've created that has the prices of everything of what we standardly pay. Now, unfortunately, I'm having to freaking go and update that every 2 weeks because the prices are changing all the time now, but we're doing that because I know where to get that information from, because we buy concrete, we buy trusses, we buy blah all the time, and so I'm constantly seeing, we actually have an information line where whenever something comes in over budget, it gets sent to me, boom, and I update the pricing. So unfortunately, we kind of have to catch it after it happens because it's just not feasible time-wise to do it preemptively. We try to, but it doesn't always work. So that's another important thing, is, do they have the pricing set in stone? And can they give you an itemized budget? Like, can they say, look, your trusses are this much, your plywood is this much, your roofing is this much. It's not just, hey, you want to build that, $120,000, here's the contract. And it just says 120 and no like itemization of anything. We actually have a very specific rule in our company, and it's that it kind of has basically it's a policy, and it's that giving someone a vague, meaning unclear, scope of work. So scope of work describes what you're doing. So an unclear scope of work, which we call a vague scope, we call it in our company a criminal act. And it's not just criminal towards you, the client, but frankly, I do actually think it is. But it's actually a criminal act against the company themselves, because if there's an unclear scope, the client can then say, well, here it says you're going to do blah, and that includes X, Y, and Z, when in reality, it shouldn't include X, Y, and Z. So our scopes are very clear on, this is not included. This is included. This much of this is included. And it has to be specific. And our production team will not accept a vague scope. So because they know then it's a criminal act. To be blunt about it, that's what we call it. And that works very, very well. So if you don't see itemization on a contractor's quote, like itemized, that's a very important point. It's also an indicator that they're not organized. The organization level of contractors is very important. If they're not organized, little things are going to get missed along the way. You're going to get pissed off, and then you're going to have to, fire them 2/3 of the way through the project or something crazy like that. I've seen it before. So That said, that is, as a GC, as a general contractor, that is how I would pick another general contractor that I was hiring to do my house based on the things that I've seen. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you're looking for a general contractor, obviously I would love for Home Love Construction to be it. If you're still in the design phase, you can go to homelove.construction/design, and we can actually help you design the project from a contractor's perspective, do the full architectural layout. We literally have a design department in our contracting firm. We're design build. We help you design it. We want to be involved in the design, and then we want to build it for you, obviously. So we brought that in so that we could help make the whole process run smooth, help you design something that can actually be built the way you want it to look and in the physical universe so it comes out correctly. And so if you want help with that from a contractor who's experienced in doing that, go to homelove.construction/design, and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.